how's everyone doing? Stay Salty or Aesthetic Cloud 79, and we are playing Dear Esther Landmark Edition. And let me turn down the volume, like right about here, so that way we can hear each other. I am here with Harvey again. Ah, I see. So there's director's commentary, which lets you free roam. So the lighthouse is the first level, the caves. Okay, so we're gonna go to the lighthouse. We're not gonna do any of the commentary, because that's to free roam around, I think. So.
Dear Esther, the gulls do not land here anymore. I've noticed that this year they seem to shun the place. Maybe it's the depletion of the fishing stock driving them away. Perhaps it's me. When he first landed here, Donnelly wrote that the herds were sickly and their shepherds the lowest of the miserable classes that populate these Hebridean islands. 300 years later, even they have departed.
Ooh,
Diamonds. This looks very creepy.
paints.
Lots of paint.
Paints.
Yes.
Apparently you can zoom in with any of these 4 trigger buttons. So L1 and R1 is to zoom in, so is L2, R2, and so is X. Every button is to zoom in, except for the arrow keys.
But whoa, look, it's so
Oh, I can move with the arrow keys. I'd rather move with the analog stick though. Ah, get up here.
Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his
Might as
solitude.
well just go this way.
There are crates. Absolutely.
Sucks that you can't run in this game.
When you were born, your mother told me, a hush fell over the delivery room. A great red birthmark covered the left side of your face. No one knew what to say, so you cried to fill the vacuum. I always admired you for that you cried to fill whatever vacuum you found. I began to manufacture vacuums just to enable you to deploy your talent. The birthmark faded by the time you were 6 and had gone completely by the time we met, but your fascination with the empty and its cure remained.
Interesting.
Yes, very interesting.
Interesting music
The
and a
lounge
light.
is clearly the focal point of this landscape. It almost appears so well placed as to be artificial. I find myself easily slipping into the delusional state of ascribing purpose, deliberate motive to everything here. Was this island formed during the moment of impact? When we were torn loose from our moorings and the seatbelts cut motorway lanes into our chests and shoulders, did it first break surface then?
Very nice scenery.
What is that down there?
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh. They were God-fearing people, those shepherds. There was no love in the relationship. Donnelly tells me that they had one Bible that was passed around in strict rotation. It was stolen by a visiting monk in 1776, 2 years before the island was abandoned altogether. In the interim, I wonder, did they assign chapter and verse to the stones and grasses, marking the geography with a superimposed significance, that they could actually walk the Bible and inhabit its contradictions?
Maybe. Interesting. This tells a story, but I don't understand the story.
Yes.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason, or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life. I would leave you presents outside your retreat, in this interim space between cliff and beach. I would leave you loaves and fishes, but the fish stocks have been depleted and I've run out of bread. I would row you back to your homeland in a bottomless boat, but I fear we would both be driven mad by the chatter of the sea creatures.
What is that?
What is that?
Good question. Takes us back out here. I still wish you could run. Sucks that you can't run in this game, so you have to walk. So the story's
I don't really get it.
how is it not dark already? I feel like a storm's gonna come in or a tornado.
I dreamt I stood in the center of the sun, and the solar radiation cooked my heart from the inside. My teeth will curl and my fingernails fall off into my pockets like loose change. If I could stomach, I'd eat, but all I seem capable of is salt water. Were the livestock still here, I could turn feral and gorge. I'm as emaciated as a body on a slab, opened up for a premature source of death. I've rowed to this island in a heart without a bottom, all the bacteria of my gut rising up to sing to me.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. This really does tell nothing but a story. But what is this story? Yes, that is a good question. Especially for us. The music stopped. Loading screen.
Loading.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Huh.
This
Interesting.
definitely is a very interesting game.
Yes, scenery and music. I feel it's telling a story, but I don't know what though.
Story of someone who went lost. Someone missing on the island. Maybe
think
something that happened to the island.
Maybe. I think I should have. I think I should have like went down there. Not so sure if I had to. Though. I feel like there's something more to this. The wood sees the eye, and also I think there might be a ghost here. Maybe. I don't know.
Why would you think that?
I've begun to wonder if Donnelly's voyage here was as prosaic as it was presented. How disappointed not to have found the bones of the holy man. No wonder he hated the inhabitants so. To him they must have seemed like barnacles mindlessly clinging to a mercy seat. Why cling so hard to the rock? Because it is the only thing that stops us from sliding into the ocean, into oblivion.
Huh. The zoom in thing is for something. I don't know what though. Let me tone down the volume of this again. I'm gonna put it at 2 speakers to see if it even does anything. Yeah, so. Okay, that's better. I need to tone down the volume again. I can barely hear you, my dude. Okay, that's a bit better, yeah. I don't want it to blast in my ears. Yeah, just tone up your mic volume a bit, Harvey, because people can barely hear you. The boat wreckage.
Ow. Just hit my knee.
I hate me. Okay. Another path. It's down to here. Or should we go back up this path? Actually, I'd rather go this way. I'd rather go this way than down there.
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their...
Okay, so interesting.
Yes.
Is this what Paul saw through his windscreen? Not Lot's wife looking over her shoulder, but a scar in the hillside, falling away to black forever.
Oh.
Come back.
Oh, Bubba.
That's
Come.
cool.
I guess he didn't want me to jump in there. He said come back. Hello. What's down there?
Tiny house.
A house. Such joy.
I've begun my ascent on the windless slope of the western side. The setting sun was an inflamed eye squeezing shut against the light shone in by the doctors. My neck is aching through constantly craning my head up to track the light of the aerial. I must look downwards, follow the path under the island to a new beginning.
Interesting.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
It's a house.
This must have been the house that he completed, but
3 cormorants seen at dusk. They did not land. This house built of stone, built by a long-dead shepherd. Contents: my camp bed, a stove, a table, chairs, my clothes, my books. The caves that score out the belly of this island, leaving it famished. My limbs and belly famished. This skin, these organs, this failing eyesight. When the battery runs out in my torch, I will descend into the caves and follow only the phosphorescence home.
That's a cave. I think that's the cave, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, I think it is.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. I don't know how to get up there though.
Maybe that's the next chapter.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I don't know how to fall down there. Or do I have to? Or will this take me down here? Because that's a cave by the looks of it.
Seems as if there are many caves.
Jakobsen's ribcage, they told Donnelly, was deformed, the result of some birth defect or perhaps a traumatic injury as a child. Brittle and overblown it was, and desperately light. Perhaps it was this that finally did for him, unable to contain the shattering of his heart. In half-light, his skeleton a discarded prop, a false and calcified seabird.
Interesting.
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. His fingernails were raw and bitten to the quick. They found the phosphorescent moss that grows in the caves deep under the nails. Whatever he'd been doing under the island when his strength began to fail is lost. He'd struggled halfway up the cliff again, perhaps in a delirium, perhaps trying to reach the Bothy's fire before curling into a stone and expiring.
Oh, well, it looks like there's another cave.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected.
What are these sounds?
The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
What in the world were those noises? Like, oh my.
Oh, okay. So we're going deep into a cave.
Fun.
Very, very fun.
It's cave time.
Can't see.
Donnelly's addiction is my one true constant. Even though I wake in false dawns and find the landscape changing, flowing constantly through my tears, I know his reaching is always upon me.
Whoa. But it seems like you actually did fall into the cave.
Yep, from right there.
Youch.
Ooh. Interesting lighting.
I do like that colour though. It's a very nice colour.
Yes. At least there's no spiders.
Just some giant spider comes out of nowhere.
They'd stopped the traffic back as far as the Sanford Junction and come up the hard shoulder like radio signals from another star. It took 21 minutes for them to arrive. I watched Paul time it to the second on his watch.
What are those carvings that are in the wall? Or the painting drawings?
Yeah, I don't know.
Seems like someone was busy in the cave. So they must have a meaning, but what? Whoa. Oh.
Wait.
Oh, there. That's it.
Ah. Is this the way out?
No idea. There even a way out? Or you just have to keep exploring the cave.
Interesting, interesting. There's not that much commentary to this, actually.
No, there's not. It's just a very interesting game.
Yeah, it just tells a story. There's no whole lot in it, so it's like there's nothing to read or anything. So I'm just quiet most of the time,
Same
just
here, just
you know,
admiring it.
yes, admiring it. But yeah, so I guess Esther is probably us. Maybe I think we're Esther. I'm not sure. I don't think, but
Yeah, because it
I
seemed
think
like someone was writing to this Esther person, and that's what the whole game's about. Maybe.
yeah, except
Whoa.
I'm traversing my
That's a
own
big
death
cave.
throes. The infection in my leg is an oil rig that dredges black muck up from deep inside my bones. I swallow fistfuls of diazepam and paracetamol to stay conscious. Pain flows through me like an underground sea.
seriously though, what is this noise?
Cave sounds.
Yeah.
That's all I can really think of. Just very drained.
This music's giving me a Johnny vibe. It's giving me that vibe for the game Johnny by that game company. Why does
I
it
know
feel?
what you mean.
Yeah, it's giving you that vibe that it's telling a story. Except Johnny told a story without any words, while this does. Except the difference between the two is there's no enemy. All it is just a story.
Or maybe there is an enemy.
Whoa.
Whoa. This enemy seems to be like a plague or something, because it says everyone who goes to that island like dies of a mysterious cause. I think it said earlier.
This cannot
Yeah.
be the shaft they threw the goats into. It cannot be the landfill where the parts of your life
Whoa.
that would not burn ended
That's,
up. It cannot be the
cool.
chimney that delivered you to the skies. It cannot be the place where you rained back down again to fertilize the soil and make small flowers in the rocks.
This is not the place where you throw down rocks. I think I'm stuck. Hold on. There we go, I'm out. I just had to look up. The controls are weird still. I'm still not used to running in the game like this. And the zoom in, I don't know what it's for. I think it's to admire stuff. Gotta take a while to get... This says something! Vendold... Droskus... Os... I think this is Dutch.
Whoa. That's particles. That's particles. That's science. If you look at it,
Yeah, I
that's
see.
circuits and stuff. Someone was busy. Holy.
Away from being awkwardy. Wait, May from being awkward. This sounds like it says away, but look, May
I know.
from being apart, a pity. May from being a pity. Food and yeah, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, neither do I.
Icicles. But look. Less.
Now this just
Each
looks like
time.
an alien cave. This is like something you would find on an alien planet, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been that could be another game I could touch, maybe. But I'm not sure. I don't think it's. Yeah, cause see how we was down there. I had many ideas, but then up here there's none.
Yeah. More water.
Oh.
Are you even a person in this, or are you like just... What's going on?
It's funny how you stop walking. It's funny how you stop swimming. You just instantly slowly. What is that sound?
It
Waterfall.
sounded like footsteps, in my opinion.
I think that's me. That was probably me. Oh. Whoa. Holy.
Oh.
I fell. Where am I? What?
What in the world?
Cause. Hear that sound?
What was that? Oh.
Whoa. Whoa. Where am I? Where am I?
Now you're at the bottom of the waterfall. Whoa. That was weird.
Alternative routes. What is that? Is that the way out?
What is that? Maybe. Oh.
I guess it is. Guess it was the way out. Interesting. Whoa, where are we?
Never mind, it seems like you're going deeper into a cave.
Oh no.
No.
Whoa.
Oh, now it's nighttime.
That's so beautiful.
It is. Oh, here's music again.
I feel like it's making another letter.
The moon
What?
over the Sandford Junction, headlights in your retinas. Donnelly drove a grey hatchback without a bottom. All the creatures of the tarmac rose to sing to him. All manner of symbols crudely scrawled across the cliff face of my unrest. My life reduced to an electrical diagram. All my gulls have taken flight. They will no longer roost on these outcrops. The lure of the moon over the Sandford Junction is too strong.
Are these candles sitting around the people that died on this island? There's so many candles.
Whoa.
Of fire and soil, I chose fire. It seemed the more contemporary of the options.
Wait, is that a guy up there?
I could not bear the
Looks
thought of the
like
reassembly
it.
of such a ruin. Stitching arm to shoulder and femur to hip, charting a line of thread like traffic stilled on a motorway, making it all
It
acceptable.
is.
Tearful
Turn
arms
around
and
again and
traumatized
look
uncles
up.
flown in specially for the
Look up.
occasion. Reduced to
Look,
ash,
look,
mixed
there's
with
the red
water,
beacon
make a
that went past it
phosphorescent
now.
paint
But look.
for these rocks and ceilings.
I know, I see it.
It is a guy. How do you get up there?
Either it's a guy or a statue of a guy.
That's a guy. There's no way that it's a statue. Because no statue has a shadow like a human. Unless that is a... Unless you're right, that could be a statue. Oh. Or maybe it is a human. I'm about to find out, because there's an area, and then down here is another coffin.
There were chemical diagrams on the posters on the walls in the waiting room. It seemed appropriate at the time. Still life abstractions of the processes which had already begun to break down your nerves and your muscles in the next room. I crammed diazepam as I once crammed for chemistry examinations. I am revising my options for a long and happy life.
Around? Stone. Heaven from light. Wait. Oh! Light from heaven. Shone around. Well, now I know what... Yeah, it is telling a story with these diagrams. Light from heaven shone around Esther. If I had to take a wild guess. I can't really read that language. What is that?
It is something.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
That is a lot of boats.
There's even some on the shore if you look. That was in like, that was next to you.
There's a light. I can either go that way or this way. I might as well go in here. This ain't really a hole, but I'm not sure if it is. I still feel like it could be. On a shore, a light from heaven shone around him. Shined around him, and he fell to the ground.
It said all of a sudden. Or
Oh. On a sudden, a light from heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground.
So that's what the that's what the message that was on the side of the mountain you just read was. That's what it said.
That's it. Okay, yeah, there's some story. The music stopped. I hate how the music stops. I feel like we have to go to that beacon. I just feel like we have to. This is Slender all over again.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Slender Man all over again with having to go to the beacon. Oh, I see a tree, I think. Or something up there.
That's a tree.
Yes. Well, I might go get a drink because I'm quite thirsty and I'll come back.
Okay.
I don't think I'll miss much.
Yeah.
I'll be about a minute
Pain in
then.
my leg sent me blind for a few minutes as I struggled up the cliff path. I swallowed another handful of painkillers, and now I feel almost lucid. The island around me has retreated to a hazed distance, whilst the moon appears to have descended into my palm to guide me. I can see a thick black line of infection reaching for my heart from the waistband of my trousers. Through the fugue, it's all the world like the path I have cut from the lowlands towards the aerial.
I'm not liking one bit of this.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. You can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
And he was proceeding on his journey. And he was proceeding on his journey. Okay. And he was proceeding on his journey. Okay, interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Wait. And was gone. You know, to grab. Dark North 3.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
What is going on? A house.
Returning to my car afterwards, hands still shaking, and a head split open by the impact. Goodbye to tearful aunts and traumatized uncles. Goodbye to the phenomenal. Goodbye to the tangible. Goodbye Wolverhampton. Goodbye Sanford. Goodbye Cromer. Goodbye Damascus. This cliff path is slippery in the dew. It is hard to climb with such an infection. I must carve out the bad flesh and sling it from the aerial. I must become infused with the very air.
You are back. Okay, so there's been a lot of stuff happening. I went to the shadow, and that was a human, but when I went to it, it wasn't there.
Did it disappear or was it still there?
It disappeared when I got close to the part, and also I have to go up here, and apparently there's some creepy stuff. We think? I don't know. This is telling. I think this dude's gonna die that we're playing as. I'm not sure though.
Turn around, there's more writing on the wall.
Yeah, I know.
These waters for the bones of the hermit, for the traces of Donnelly, for any sign of Jakobsen's flock, for the empty bottle that would incriminate him. I have scoured this stretch of motorway 21 times, attempting to recreate his trajectory. The point when his heart stopped dead, and all he saw was the moon over the Sanford Junction. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunken. This is not a recorded natural condition. The gulls do not fly so low over the motorway and cause him to swerve. The paint scored away from his car in lines like an infection, making directly for the heart.
Well, that got deep real fast. I have a bad feeling.
I have run out of places to climb. I will abandon this body and take to the air.
I will abandon this body and take to the air.
Dear
I'm not-
Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him.
I'm not even moving the
There
controller.
will be another to these shores to remember
I can
me.
tell.
I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Is he gonna fall off of that? Because next to the sky. Oh, yep.
I'm still not moving it.
I can tell. I'm not stupid.
Oh, you're falling on rocks. Oh no. What? Come back, Esther.
Sorry about that, my brother just came in, but what is going on?
We're aboard.
Yeah, that makes sense. Question mark.
Wait.
Paper boat.
Come back.
Oh, there's another comeback, is there?
Instant quietness. Okay then. Okay.
Interesting, I have to say.
So, I'm trying to think. So, I can't skip. I guess we have no choice but to actually watch this credits. Okay.
Well, you might as well say what you were gonna say.
Okay, so the story of this is what though? I'm trying to think. Like,
I guess it's the story of, like, we're following someone who died on the island, I guess? I don't actually know.
maybe it's a dear friend? I don't know. It's a dear Esther, so it's like maybe something will happen at the end of these credits. Maybe it'll explain it. Might as well.
Oh my lord.
Might as well just see what's gonna happen at the end of these credits, because I can't skip it. I'm not gonna return the main menu. I'm just gonna sit here and just watch the credits and admire it, since I can't even skip.
Yes.
Pressing buttons, it's not letting me skip. So what did this mean though? Because it's has a story, but it's unknown. I think it's about life and death? Maybe that's what it is. Special thanks to... Oh. Okay. So...
Seems like that's the end. The credits.
Yeah, but I think something's gonna happen. I think. Let's hope, because there is a commentary for this game, so maybe it explains it. That's it. Wait, resume? Resume what? I'm pressing resume just to see.
Probably won't do anything. Being full honest. Yeah. Just brings us back to a certain point.
Ah, yeah.
It's
It
like
does.
Previous. Just like the other game.
Yeah, basically. So if you press start... Oh yeah, you can pick which map you want to do. So that's
Very
interesting. And director's commentary means that it'll explain it. Of how they made the game and stuff, and what the story plot is. So, yeah, that's DOS though. This is one good game, I guess. It's a good storytelling game. I have no clue of what I was going into. Yeah, I kind of understand it.
The story is just off the wall for me.
I kind of get it a bit. Life and death. I think that's what this game's about. If I had to take the wildest guess ever. So yeah, that is all for DOS though. Bye.